Hi, my name is Sherrika Reid, and I am a carpenter, or you can call it a furniture maker. We've been doing this business almost 40 years. I was actually working at the airport before I dived into it completely. So I left my job almost 7 years now and went into it fully.
Why?
Well, to be honest, life and my daughter as well, because during that time when I was working at the airport, my daughter had surgery and I have to be back and forth with therapy. So I was unable to get the time off. And then the reason why I said life as well is because I felt stuck. I felt like, okay, this is not for me. I've been here for a number of years and I feel like I need something more. So I was thinking, wondering and pondering, what can I do? And then I said, but my father have a furniture shop from a barn. Why not just go into it fully? Because I used to dabble, like help out in the shop and so forth, but I didn't took it serious. So I decided, hey, why not start out by selling mirrors? So that's how I started out, and then I advanced from that, started selling floating shelves, bedroom set, kitchen cabinet. So he was the one that actually trained me to work in the shop. So from I was a child, I've been doing it, so it just become my passion automatically.
And what do you love about putting these furnitures together?
To be honest, this is gonna sound cliche, but I love the reaction from the customers, especially the fact that I'm a female. They'll be like, no, you're too nice to work in the shop. I don't believe you work in the shop. So sometimes customers will come to the shop and actually watch me work or work on their items. So that's the joy for me, to see how they react when I go to a customer house and install a floating shelf, or I deliver a space saver, any item at all.
So you touch on the point that you're a female.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any difficulty when it comes to your gender, having to lift or maneuver machines and so on?
Yes, it is. When I just started out, I didn't know how to use the sanding machine. I hated it. And with practice, and my father was there to teach me, it was easy for me after a while. And also, a lot of customers beforehand was doubting me, because they would be like, okay, it's a female, I don't trust what she's doing, probably the item is not going to come out good. So I try my best whenever I get customers to order from me. I try my best to update them on the process, so they never have to worry about an item. So once we frame up a unit, we start your unit, you will get in videos, pictures. You can also come to the shop and to view your items. A lot of customers feel away like, no, I'm not gonna buy from her because it's a man job. What is it she don't know what she do? But over a period of time, I feel like I proved myself. I proved myself to everybody. So it's not an issue for me anymore.
So you've been learning to do this since you were a child, and you started to take it seriously when, 7 years ago?
Almost 7 years, yes.
And thus far, do you feel fulfilled?
Of course, I love it. I love it. My thing is, I wanted to think outside of the box. I didn't want to make just the regular bedroom set or the regular chest of drawer, the regular kitchen cabinet. So I tend to think outside the box, making items that you hardly find in stores. So that's how I come about with the floating units. And I tend to do my research to find out different design and see what the market like. So our floating units, as you can see, one that's behind us, that is one of our best sellers.
And you make everything from scratch?
From scratch. Put the boards together, everything from scratch. From going to the board shop, to bringing the board here, treating the board, leave it to dry for a couple of days, and then we just everything from scratch. Cut, plain, everything from scratch.
You say it's a family business?
Yes, it is.
How many people in the family are running the business?
Well, I have my father, my two brothers, and a friend of mine as well that comes to the shop depending on the workload, comes to the shop to work with us. Being that our Christmas season is coming up, so you know that it opens doors for opportunity where we can employ more persons as well to help out.
And what are the prices like for these elegant, unique furniture pieces?
Okay, so the cost is also depending on the size unit that you want and the design. So our floating shelves can range up to 48,000 go up. So it all depends on the size, the color, and the design.
But would you say on average this furniture making business for you has been profitable?
I mean, we have our ups and downs as in any business. What I can say is starting a business is not for the weak. Sometimes I feel stressed, I feel depressed, but you know, I just talk to myself and say, girl, you have to do this. You have a child that's depending on you. It's a family business. I'm creating a household name. I'm creating a brand, not necessarily just making furniture. So I have passion in it. So not every time it's going to be profitable. I'm not going to say the money don't matter because you really want to profit. But once you enjoy doing what you're doing, it doesn't matter. We just say, all right, it's a slow period. We just bounce back right after.
And is this your only source of income?
Yes, it is.
You don't do anything on the side?
No.
And you spoke about your daughter. How old is she?
My daughter is 13. She just had a birthday. Her birthday was October 15.
Aww.
Yes.
And is she involved in regard, because you started young, is she involved in the furniture making?
Well, she knows one or two things. You know, like sometimes she will knock boards and stuff like that, but not necessarily interested, involved like I was when I was at her age. But yeah, she's familiar. Even my nephew is involved sometimes. And my nephew is 2-year-old, and sometimes we have him in the shop and him want sandpaper and sand too. So I mean, everybody is involved, dibble-dabble in it as well.
And how do you feel knowing that, you know, you got to grow up in this and be a part of a legacy? I know you have children, younger children in the family coming in and helping you out to ensure that this legacy continues.
You know, it's a blessing. I always say, like what I said before, I'm creating a household name. So it's a blessing to know that my father has been doing it for almost 40 years, and for the fact that the next generation can come and carry on his legacy, his name. Because to be honest with you, it's not necessarily mine, it's his, because he's the one that started this.
Mm-hmm. So it's SML Essentials.
SML Essentials. Yes. Our Instagram handle is SML_Essentials.
Mm-hmm. And what's the S stand for?
Well, the SML is my daughter's name. So my daughter's name is Sana Milan Lewis. So that's how we come about with the name.
Okay.
Yes, so she was the one that actually pushed me to say, all right, let's go into this fully.
And you spoke about your other job not giving you the convenience.
To bring her to therapy. And not only that, I didn't feel fulfilled. I didn't feel as if like this was my purpose. I felt as if I was actually just a robot going into work, doing the same thing over and over. With this, I have the freedom to express myself. Like what I said to you before, I do my research on new designs. I will post the designs, or if a customer come and order an item, I will say, no, so if you try this, this will look better. So I normally give my input as well. And it's something that I enjoy. I love home decor. I'm actually thinking on venturing off into that as well, to sell home accent pieces, because a lot of customers will buy our units and be like, how can I style this? And I will tell them, all right, you can put this there, you can put the flowers to the side and all of that.
And you say you couldn't take it out of the therapy. Why did she need therapy? Was it physical therapy?
Yes, it was physical therapy. She's special needs. She has cerebral palsy.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And what were you doing at the airport at the time you left?
Well, I was actually working with the Cambio, and then I left there and worked with Flo, still at the airport.
Oh. And you spoke about your daughter having special needs. I'm thinking that's pretty expensive. Does this help you care for her better, especially financially?
It is. It is very expensive, but I mean, I've been doing it for 13 years. So I just have to do what I have to do. That's why I put my heart and my soul and my sweat into it, because there's nothing else that I want to do, and this is my passion.
If you have any advice to young people, what would you give them from your point of view of what you have accomplished?
Ensure that whatever that you're doing, you enjoy it. If you don't have a love for it, it doesn't make no sense. Don't think about, okay, I want quick money, because in that way you're not going to enjoy the process, and at the same time you're going to feel like if things not working out, you're going to easily give up. So ensure that you love what you're doing and think outside the box.
Do you think learning a skill in this day and age is still better than working at a regular 9 to 5?
To be honest, I've been in the office, like working regular 9 to 5 for years. I didn't went to school for this, and the only thing I would say is not necessarily a regret. I feel as if I had learned this skill from earlier, meaning doing it in high school, I would reach far. Because as I said, I started going into this fully almost 7 years. I think learning a skill is good because you can still work your 9 to 5 and you hustle on the side with your skill. So having a skill is a plus, because if I didn't have this, what would I do? You get me? I don't know how to do hair, nails and stuff like that. So this is my skill, this is my gift.